I have to admit, I was having a hard time coming up with a homily for these readings. And imagine if I came to you and I just said, folks, you're on your own. And maybe many of you would be happy. Might be very happy. But then, you see, there's a lesson here. And that is, we can never give up on being inspired by God and His words. Never. And even if at the end I say, folks, I'm at a block here. You put up the white flag, you surrender, and that's okay. But you make sure that you give it your best. Don't give up so quickly. In this first reading from the book of Leviticus, Leviticus is one of the most difficult, if not to say the worst book in the Bible, because it's all about the rules, the law, very legalistic. There's a person with a sore. They need to show themselves to the priest. The priest will examine them. If the priest determines that the sore is leprosy, then that person must rent their garments. You know what it means to rent your garments? Tear your garments. Tear your garments. Don't comb your hair, don't brush your beard, don't do anything. And you have to leave the community. That's it. It's over. You have to leave. I mean, brutal. Brutal. And they have to say unclean. If they walk around, they've got to say unclean, 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 so that people can avoid them. Why such a brutal rule? Well, I'm sure someone that was dear to them lost that person because they received leprosy. In other words, because someone was infected, they spread it, and someone, maybe a child, maybe a spouse, got the leprosy, and they said, never again. If someone's got something, out, get out. So in the first reading, we have the rule. This is the rule. In the second reading, we have St. Paul. Brothers and sisters, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it for God. Do everything for God. Avoid giving offense. I try to please everyone in every way, not seeking my own benefit, but that of the many, that they may be saved. Be imitators of me, for I imitate Christ. Immediately you see St. Paul. St. Paul is passionate. St. Paul is a passionate man. He loves the Lord. He wants to serve the Lord. He doesn't care about himself. He doesn't care about his health. He doesn't care. He wants to serve God. And he wants to do it with all his heart, all his love, everything. He's willing to sacrifice it all for God. The passion. In the first reading, you have the rule. What benefits me? What protects me? In the second one, you have passion. When someone is passionate about something, there's no stopping them. No stopping them. But there's no stopping them for good or for bad. No stopping them for good or for bad. How many times did I hear my father say, Alphonse, never get married. Never get married. Never. Why? Why did he say it? Because he was married. And then he got divorced. And he was upset. He was upset. I did not get not married because of what my father said. I didn't get married because I didn't find the right woman at the right time, at the right place. But am I going to allow my anger, my passionate anger, or resentment to stop me from living my life? Just this week, I've heard young girls say, all boys are terrible. All boys are terrible. Why would they say that? Because their heart got broken. Their heart got broken. Love doesn't exist. Love doesn't. It's all a myth. It's all a nonsense. It's all mushy-gushy nonsense. Love doesn't exist. Why would someone say that? Why? Because their heart was broken. Why would someone say, you with leprosy, out now? Why? Because they want to save their own skin, and because maybe someone they loved died from contracting it. Maybe something like that. Now we have the gospel. Now we have the gospel. Where you have the rule, black and white. You have St. Paul, be passionate for Christ. Be passionate for love. Be passionate. You have the rule, you have the passion, and now what does Christ bring? The compassion. Christ brings compassion. The rule exists so that we survive. Christ exists so that we thrive. We live. You have compassion. A leper came to Jesus. He broke the rule. He broke the rule. Instead of getting away, he said, Lord, 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 please, please, I beg you, please. Falling to his knees, he begged Jesus, if you wish, you can make me clean. Jesus moved with pity, compassion. He stretched out his hand and touched it. He broke the rule. Jesus broke the rule. He touched the man. He touched him. You're not supposed to touch him. He touched the man. And he said to her, I do will it, be made clean. And immediately he was made clean. And then he warned him. He warned the man. Don't tell anyone what happened. Don't tell anyone. Why? Why did Jesus say that? Well, I'm too busy. You know, if you tell anyone, what's going to happen? All these lepers are going to come over to my house, and they're going to want me to clean them. They're going to want me to heal them. Was Jesus thinking about himself? Of course not. Why would Jesus tell the man, don't tell anyone? For one reason. Because if the Pharisees and the scribes found out that he had touched him, then they would say that Jesus was unclean. You can't go to Jesus. He just touched a leper. He's unclean. You're going to get leprosy. Don't go hear him. Don't go see him. Don't go near him. Don't do anything. Because why? The first rule, save yourself. Save yourself. Whereas Jesus and Christianity is about showing compassion, which means showing love. It's always about love. Christianity is about love. There was a famous man, G.K. Chesterton, my hero, where he said, the Christian ideal has not been tried and found wanting. In other words, what's the ideal? To love your enemies, to love those who are sick, to show compassion to those who need it. The Christian ideal has not been tried and found wanting. You know what? It's not worth it. Not worth it. No. He said it has been found difficult and left untried. We haven't even scratched the surface. Do you think I'm more Christian because I'm up here giving a homily? I'm serving as a priest. Okay, you can say, well, you follow Christ more closely. Yeah. But to show the compassion that Jesus is asking for each and every one of us, oh my goodness, we haven't even scratched the surface. We haven't even scratched the surface of what the Lord is asking. My dear brothers and sisters, as we approach Lent, the Lord is inviting us. Okay, you have the rule, now have the passion and show the compassion. Show compassion. Show love. Whatever troubles you may be going through, whatever losses you may have, whatever difficulties you are enduring, whatever, you can choose. I can be passionately angry, or I can show compassion, and I can show love. The Lord is inviting us today to live the Christian ideal, to love where love does not exist. Amen?